Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to easily start working with the chatbot or with the Gemini in the MVC technology and ASP.NET Core. So let's do it. At the first step, let's take a look inside the output of this project. We have something like this. I have the chatbot text at the top. Then we have the message. And hello, I'm the AI chatbot. This is the first message and it is automatically added by the code. Then let's come over here and write, for instance, the hi and send it. So you can see the typing is over here. Then we're gonna delete the typing and add the hi there. How can I help you? And I can write something like this, Earth age, or what is the Earth's age, or what is the age of the Earth. So this is the Earth is approximately about 4.5 billion years old. Wow, it's really big one. So you can start chatting with the Gemini step by step by using this message text box. So let's start working with the project. To do that, come over here and from the description, you can get the download link of the project. So first download the project and extract that. So we have something like this, the Gemini MVC Pro. You can see it something like this. Then we have the Gemini MVC SLN or the solution file. So let's click on that. After a couple of seconds, the project will be loaded. And if I come over here and come to this one more time, get inside the Gemini, you can see the project files over here. And it's all of these are inside this one. If I take a look over here, you can see all of this over here. So if I take a look, if you want to open up the project itself, you need to open up this file, the CS project, the .cs project file. The CS project means C# project file. So come over here and at the first look, we don't know anything about this, but the structure of this project is really simple and straightforward. So if I take a look over here at the top, I have the www root. So we have the project files. Then we have the controllers, and this is the controllers. After that, I have the models, then the views. This is the views. Inside the views, I have the chatbot. So this is the chatbot and the index. So we have the controller and its name is chatbox controller. Then we have the view and we have the appropriate view for the controller. This is the chatbot controller. So we have the view and its name is chatbot inside the views folder. Then we have the shared folder. Inside that, I have the layout and we need to customize the default layout. It's very simple and straightforward. As you see over here, we haven't a lot of codes and I have a little lines of the code over here. So in the next step, let's create the new project. This is the original project, Gemini MVC. Now let's come to the solution, right click on that and add the new project. Also, you can close this project and open up your new project in another Visual Studio, but I strongly recommend you to use the same solution for creating the new project. Come over here and write MVC. This is the MVC. As you see, it is the ASP.NET Core Web App Model View Controller or MVC. So we have this C#. You can see the C# over here. Also, we have similar to that, but in the different languages. For instance, this is the ASP.NET Core Web App, exactly like the first one, but the language is F#, and this is not my favorite one. I want to work with the C# language, so select the first one, ASP.NET Core Web API, Web App Model View Controller. Now come here, go to the next line. Over here, we need to write the project name. For instance, my Gemini. My Gemini MVC. So this is my Gemini MVC and the location of the project. You can see something like this. And this folder is exactly what we have over here. Inside this one, in this over here, beside the SLN. This is the first project or the Gemini MVC folder. And we have the project over here. In the next step, we're gonna add the new folder for my new project, and the project name is my Gemini MVC. So come over here and come to the next. In this window, we need to select the framework. So we have different frameworks from the 6.0 up to 9.0. So let's select the latest version. Also, you can use the newer version in the future. But personally, I prefer to use the number 9.0. Then do you want to configure the project as HTTPS? No, I don't want to configure it. Later, we can add the HTTPS inside the project and the Visual Studio. But currently, I want to uncheck that. Configure for HTTPS. I want to work with the HTTP protocol. So it's simple and straightforward. Now come over here and come to the next one and create. After a couple of seconds, my project will be generated automatically. So it's added over here. You can see the My Gemini MVC, and I have the controllers. You can see the controllers. It is the home controller or something like this. But I want to add my own controller. So right click on the home controller and delete that and click OK. After that, we have the models and it is the error view. Let's leave it, or you can delete that. Then we have the views. Inside it, I have the home, and this home folder or the home view is the views belongs to the controller or the home controller. Currently, I deleted the controller, so we need to delete the home because we haven't any controller for that. And the next step, I have the shared folder. Inside it, I have the layout. As you see, it's really messy and we have all of these codes. So we need to delete unused codes from here. Later, I'll talk about this matter, so don't worry about anything. Now, if I take a look, I have the default project. You can see something like this, the Gemini MVC, and this is my Gemini MVC. So come to the Gemini MVC, and at the first asset, we need to add the controller, and the controller name is Chatbot Controller. So come over here, and this is the my Gemini MVC. Come to the controllers, right click on the controller, and add the new controller. This is the controller. So let's select the empty controller, MVC controller, empty, and add it. So come to this and write chatbot. I want to add something like this, the chatbot, the capital C, capital B. So let's name it chatbot and the controller. So add it. After a couple of seconds, the chatbot is added over here successfully, but I haven't a lot of codes and I have only the index action for the default view. Return the view. So I want to add the view. Right click on the index and come over here. I want to add the view. So this is the action. I want to add the appropriate view. And this is the razor view. It is empty one. So come over here and add it. So let's come to the default and its name is index. You can change the index to anything that you want, but personally I prefer to leave it by default. Now let's come over here and it is the razor view empty and add it. So the chatbot folder is added over here. Now I have the index. You can see the index over here and I have the chatbot controller. So this is my chatbot controller in the chatbot view. So it's time to start loading the index page. This is the chatbot. Inside it, I have the index. I can delete all of this and easily let's add some div inside it. This is the div and add the text inside it. Hi, I am or I'm chatbot index and add something like this. This is only the text and it is for testing the project and the view if it's working or not. Now come over here and get inside the program.cs. In the program.cs, I have the default controller. By default, it is the home, so you can see the home over here, but we deleted the home controller. So instead of the home controller, we need to write the chatbot controller. So you can see the chatbot over here. I can come to this and I can come to here, copy the chatbot, copy, get inside the program. This is the program.cs and paste it over here. So the default controller is the chatbot. So it is over here, the chatbot controller. Now we have two projects. The first one is the default and it is bold, as you see over here, the bold Gemini MVC project name. Now come to the My Gemini MVC, right click on that and set it as a default project. So we have the set as a startup project or set as default project. I have only one controller and it is the chatbot controller, and my controller has only one view and it is the index. Inside the index I added this text. So let's save everything, come over here and close any other tabs, and this is now I can start working with it. So this is the build without debugging, or you can build with the debugging. You are completely free. So let's come over here and you can see the IIS experts. I don't want to work with other protocols. So come over here and select the IIS Express. So come over here and in the next step, I have the web browser and select the Google Chrome, or you can work with the Firefox or the Edge. You are completely free, but my favorite one is Google Chrome. This is, and let's check it one more time if it's correct or not. So it is Google. So it is Google Chrome. Now if I start without debugging, I can see the result. Let's be patient. Well done. Now I have the view and it is default on the chatbot view. Hi, I'm chatbot index. And in addition, we have the layout items, including the home, the privacy. That is not my intention. So come to the home is not working because we deleted the appropriate views. So in the next step, let's customize the layout by deleting these items. So come over here and come to this, get inside the project. And after that, come to the project itself, the Gemini, the original project. Then we have the views, then the shared and the layout. As you see, we haven't a lot of codes inside the layout. We have only the view data over here. And then we have the link to the bootstrap. So it is the bootstrap.min.css. Then we have the body, and the body will be added over here, or the index item or the index will be added over here inside the container. Then we have the script, and it is, if I take a look, the bootstrap bundle.min.js. We have only two items, the script of the bootstrap and the bootstrap.min.css. So if I take a look over here, get inside the shared of the My Gemini MVC, and this is the layout. We have all of these items, but let's come over here. This is the default layout, and this is my new layout. So we have the styles. Let's select all of this because we have only this part of the code, the bootstrap.min.css. Then we have the import map, and if I get inside the layout, we haven't the import map. So come over here and delete that entirely like this. Now I have only the viewport, so you can see something like this, and the bootstrap file over here. After that, I have the header, and if I take a look, you can see the header over here. Just select that and delete that entirely. Then we have the footer. You can see the footer over here, and select the footer and delete that completely like this. After that, I have the jQuery that we don't want to work with the jQuery. Instead of the jQuery, I want to work with the JavaScript directly without using the jQuery. Then let's delete that. Then, and after that, we have these lines of the codes. Let's delete them entirely. The only thing I have is the bundle.min.js script. Also, we have the render body here, and also the style sheet for the bootstrap. And it is exactly like this. You can see the bundle.min.js, the render body inside the container, and this is the body and the container inside it. And you can see something like this. But inside it, we have the render body directly. I didn't add any kind of the role, and it is the main. So let's select this and delete that. And this is After that, let's select this. Now I have the container. Directly inside it, I have the render body or the content of the view. Which view? Currently, I have only one view. So the content will be indexed over here. And the inside the index, I have only, hi, I'm chatbot index. Now let's save everything, build the website, and let's see the result over here. Well done. Now I can see the hi, I'm chatbot index, and it is inside the container. So if I change the size, you can see the different spaces over here. And if I resize it, you can see something like this, and resize it up to here. And it means my text or my content or the content of the view is inside the container. It is because of this one. If I take a look inside the Bootstrap container. Okay, I enjoyed it a lot. Now we learned many great tips and tricks about how to start designing the project for working with the Gemini chatbot. Go ahead, open up your project and start creating your own default project. The next step, I'm going to talk about how to start designing the controller and also the view. Stay with me. Thanks and thanks goodness. Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to start completing the design of the index page or the chatbot main page. Now, let's see. Previously, we talked about how to design something like this. Now, I have hi, I'm chatbot index, and it is over here. If I take a look, it is over here, and we have the my Gemini MVC. Then we have the controller. Then we have the index for the chatbot, and it is a simple HTML page, but I wanna design it something like this. I have the text at the top, then I have the div, and inside it I have different HTML tags over here. The first one is for the bot. Hello, I'm AI chatbot. Then this is the you, then it is the response or the bot, then you and the bot. For instance, if I take a look and write the hi and send it, so as you see, the typing is added over here, and we have the error connecting. Currently, I have the problem with the internet, so I got this error connecting. So let's start designing the chatbot page or the index page. Let's do it. Come over here and come to this one. Let's close this and also this one. Come to the Solution Explorer. I have the Gemini MVC, the original project, and I have the index. This is the index. And after that, I have the views, then the chatbot inside my second or my Gemini MVC, and it is the index. It hasn't anything inside it. The only thing I have is this line of the code. So come to the index, and at the top, I have the title. You can see the title over here. I can easily come to this and copy. Also, I have the heading to chatbot. I can copy all of this, get inside the index, delete this, and paste it over here. At the first step, we need to add the title. So this is the title, the chatbot. Then we need to add the layout page. Currently, if I get inside the shared folder, this is the shared, I have the layout. So I have the layout, and after that, if I get inside the view start, this is the view start. Inside the view start, I assigned the layout or the default layout for the pages or the views. So we don't need to add it one more time. Now let's come over here, come to this, and after that, this is the layout. Let's delete that also. In the index, indeed, this is the new index. I don't need to use this one. Let's delete that entirely. Now I have the chatbot, and after that, if I take a look, I have the next part, and it is the hello, I'm the AI chatbot. Indeed, it is over here. If I take a look, this is the first line of the code, and it is the static, and we're gonna add it only one time to this div or the division. So let's come over here, and as I told you, we have the div. You can see the div over here, and after that we have another div, and we have the hello, I'm the AI chat bot. So this is the chat area. You can see the ID over here. It is the chat area. After that we have the border, and we have the padding, the height up to 300 pixels, then overflow and the auto. So if I take a look, we need to copy this part of the code and add it over here and paste it after the heading like this. So let's save everything, build the website, and let's check the result up to here. So if I take a look over here, and this is it's building, so let's be patient. So it's done. Now I have something like this, the chatbot, then the hello, I'm the AI chatbot. If I come to the inspect and get inside this, as see I have the first one and it is heading 2. You can see it over here, the heading 2. This is the heading 2. Let's close this. Great. This is the heading 2. Then I have the next one and it is the div. And as you see, this is the div, and inside it I have another div, and we have the fix or the initial message to the user. Hello, I'm the AI chat bot, and it is the bot in it. I have the strong bot over here, so it is the bot. Then the hello, I'm the AI chat bot. And the next step is time to add the send button over here, and also the text to add the user message. So let's come over here and come to this one. If I take a look, we have the message input area and it is the div. And after that, we have the top margin up to 10 pixels. Then we have the text area. This is the text area that the user can write the question inside it. Then we have the button and its name is send btn, and it is the send in it over here. Also, we have the text area. Its ID is user message. So we have the chat area, then user message, and after that we have the button, and it is send btn. Now let's copy this part of the code, get inside the index, and paste it over here. Let's save everything, build the website, and let's see the result. Well done. So it's finished. Now I have the chatbot, then the message, and also we have the type message. I can write, for instance, the hi, then click on the send to send it to the Gemini and get back the response and show it over here. But currently I completed the design and we need to write the backend codes and also some JavaScript codes to send the message to the Gemini, then get back the answer and show it over here. To do that, if I take a look over here, get inside the index, as you see, I have the script. This is the script starting from here up to the next one, and we have the send message function. It is the JavaScript function, and we have the closing tag of the script. So the script is from here up to this one. In my upcoming tutorial, I'll take a deeper look inside this code, so don't worry about anything. And let's continue our mission. Come to copy, get inside the index, and paste it over here. It's very simple and straightforward. Then we have the next one and get inside the controller. I have the controller, then the chatbot controller. This is the default or the download project, Gemini MVC. So we have the default index, we have it over here, and also in our controller, and this is our controller. This is the controller. So we have the index that returns the view. In the next step, we have the receive user message and return bot reply. So by using these codes, we're gonna send the question to the Gemini and get back the response. So come over here up to this one. If I take a look up to here, if I check it, let's check it one more time, or I can collapse this and also this to reduce the exception and any other unexpected errors. So let's copy from here up to this one. Copy, then get inside the new controller, and I have the return, press enter and paste the code exactly over here. So if I take a look, I have some errors here that is fixed automatically without any problem. So everything looks great and amazing, and these are added automatically. The JSON system text.json, then the ASP.NET Core MVC. So it looks great and amazing. And if I save everything, build the website, I can see the result over here. Well done. Now the page is loaded over here and I can come to the type message and say hi, for instance, and send it. You and message, then the response, and it is the bot. Hi there, how can I help you today? I can start asking the question, my age. Let's come to this and have some fun with the Gemini, my age. Don't access to personal information. So it's working completely. But if I take a look inside this code, all of these are really scary and complex. But believe me, it's really simple and straightforward. In my upcoming tutorial, I'll talk about the functionalities of this code step by step for your deeper understanding. So stay with me. Thanks and thanks goodness. Hi and welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to easily start working with the Gemini by talking about how to prepare your project to get access to the Gemini web service. Now, let's start. If you want to work with the Gemini, you need to have three items. The first one is Gemini API key. The next one is Gemini model name. And the last one is Gemini API URL. Let's start working with the Gemini model name. So this is the second one. It's very simple and straightforward. Just come over here, get inside the Google and search Google AI Studio. Then get inside the Google AI Studio and it is over here. In this page, I can get access to the current and available engines or the Gemini models to work with it. If I take a look over here, let's click this. As you see, I have the Gemini 2.5 Pro, and under that we have the name. And this name is exactly what we want, Gemini-2.5-Pro. After that, we have the Gemini 2.5 Flash. You can see more information about each item over here in this panel. So this is the next one, next, and next. The question is, which one is better? Personally, I prefer to use the latest version. So we have the Gemini 2.5 Pro version. Also, we have the older versions. We have the Gemini 2, the next one, and also next one. So we need to get this text. We can write it inside the simple notepad file. So we need to save this name inside the notepad. So come over here, this is the simple notepad, and you can create something like this, the Gemini info. So I have the Gemini model name. Now for better results and for faster copy and pasting, get inside the Google and search Gemini models and get inside the AI google.dev, the Gemini API docs models, and get inside this page. Over here in this page, we have a list of available Gemini models, including this, this, and this. And if I take a look, I have a list of the different models. So the first one is Gemini 2.5 Pro, exactly what we have over here. You can see it is the latest version. So if I take a look, it is the latest version and it has different input types: audio, image, video, text, and PDF. And we have more description about it over here. So we need to use this name exactly, Gemini 2.5 Pro. Let's copy this, come over here and paste it inside this. This is the model name. The question is, can I use all the versions? Yes, you are completely free to use any other versions. For instance, I can scroll down and get access to this. You can see it needs only the audio. Also, if I take a look, Gemini 2.0 Flash, it accepts the audio, images, videos, and the text. But we have the PDF also over here for the Gemini 2.5 Pro. So let's select the latest version, and it is this one, Gemini 2.5 Pro. In the next step, we need to add and create the automatic API key. If you wanna send the request to the Google Gemini, you need to have the personal API key. It is dedicated to your project or to your email user. So if you want to create and generate the API key, you need to add the new project to your Google. So come here and get inside the Google. So this is the Google and search for the Google Cloud project. How to create the new project for the Google Cloud. Scroll down and over here you can see the console.cloud.google.com. Click on that and get inside this web page. Now at the top I have the my first project. Let's click on this, and if I take a look in the all, I have a list of available and current projects. I have three projects: the Gemini API, my first project, and my project 49615. So you can use one of these projects, or you can create the new one if you want to use the newer, or if you haven't anything in this list. I have the new project, click on that and start adding and defining the new project. So the project name and also the organization. It is something like the group and we call it organization or the location. By default, you can leave it empty. So this is the project name and you can see the limitation for the project. I have limited up to 10 projects. So click on the create. I have 3 projects, so let's cancel this one. So if I take a look over here, the next one is the Gemini API key. It's very simple and straightforward. Just come over here and search for the Google AI Studio and get inside the AI Studio google.com, and this is the result. At the top I have the get API key, or find it somewhere like this, or you can scroll down and find the get API key. Click on it, and as you see I have the sample over here, and it is the quick start guide, and at the top I have the URL. So if I take a look, let's zoom in for better results. I have the HTTPS up to this part. As you see, this is, let's copy. Don't copy the double quotations from here or here. So let's paste the code exactly inside this. I have the HTTPS, and after that, if I take a look, yes, it is the Google up to the generate content. So this was the next step, and it is the Gemini API URL. Now I have the API URL, and finally we need to add the API key. To do that, we have a list of the available and existing APIs over here. You can see both of these are added to the Gemini API. If you have one or more, you can copy that easily by clicking on this and click on the copy, or the next one and click on the copy. And if you don't want to use the existing, you can easily add the new API by clicking on the generate API keys. Click on this. From this list, you need to select the project. So I have 3 projects: Gemini API, my project up to the end. Let's add it to the my project 49615. Click on that, and everything will be automatically generated after clicking on the create API key in the existing project. Or you can select other project. You are completely free to use your own project, and click on this. After a couple of seconds, the new API key will be generated for the project, and you can see it is over here. So let's copy that, and it's copied. Get inside the notepad and paste it over here, and it is the Gemini API key. So this is the Gemini API key that is dedicated for my project. Which project? It's added over here for this project. You can see the project over here. And in any condition, if you don't want to work with this, you have the delete button over here to delete this selected API key. It's simple and straightforward. Okay, I enjoyed a lot. Now everything is ready for me to start creating my own project. In the next step, we need to select our project. For instance, if you want to work with the Windows form, you can select the Windows form project. Or if you want to work with it in the MVC or even the Razor page or even inside the Blazor, you need to get access to all of this. So don't hesitate to get your own Gemini data and stay with me. Thanks and thanks goodness. Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to talk more about the codes for sending the message to the Gemini and get back the results and show it inside the text area. So let's do it. Firstly, we talked about the design of the chatbot and we learned many great tips and tricks. In the next step, let's take a deeper look inside the codes of the chatbot. It's very simple and straightforward. Let's do it. Come here and come to this one. At the first step, get inside the Solution Explorer, my Gemini MVC. Then we have the chat box. Inside it, we have the index. Click on the index. First, we talked about all of these codes and how to add them to design the view of the chatbot. In the next step, if I take a look, I have the script and it starts from here up to the end. At the first look, it's really scary and complex, but believe me, it's really simple and straightforward. Just stay with me during this video tutorial. If I take a look at the first step, we need to get the DOM of the document. The DOM means the compiled document of the current web page or all of this. So get the element by ID. The first one is chat area and assign it to the chat area. Then get element by the ID, the user message, and assign it to the user message. And finally get the item by ID and it is the send BTN and assign it to the send BTN. So come here and come to this one. It's very simple. Come to the inspect and come to this. And if I take a look, click on this one. As you see over here, I have the div that holds all of these items and its name is chat area or the ID is chat area. Exactly what we have over here, the chat area up to here. Then assign it to the chat area. Then we have the user message. And if I take a look, this is the user message and this one. As you see, the ID is user message. And after that, it is the text area. You can see the text area over here. Get the message or the user message and assign it to the user message. Finally, we have the send button. So come over here, click on this and send button. This is the send button. And if I take a look, you can see the ID over here, the send button and the send text over here, this one. So assign the send button to the send BTN. Now it's time to add the click event to the button. So I have the send button. You can see the send button over here. Add event listener or add event. Which event? The click event. This is the click event. And if the user click on the send button, click on this button, then execute the send message function. This is the send message. And if I search for that, Control F, as I see, it is over here. And its main duty is sending message to the server and show the response. So this is the JavaScript function. And it has really simple and straightforward structure. You can see it over here. So at the first step, we need to get the user message. What is the user message? As I see, it is over here. This is the user message or the text inside this one over here. So it is the user message. Get the value inside it and trim. Remove any spaces at the first and at the end of the text area. So check it. If the message is nothing, it means we haven't anything over here. So easily escape and do nothing or return. And after that, show user message. What is the user message? It has the bold U. You can see the bold U over here, plus the message. What is the message? The message is the text inside the user message text area. Then delete the value of the user message, exactly what we have over here. If I come to this and say hi, this is the hi. At the first step, we need to add it over here. You can see it's added over here. The hi, you can see it over here. The U is bold. Why it's bold? Because we added the strong tag over here. Then the message. After that, delete the text inside the user message. So the text inside this one is deleted after adding the U over here. Let's do it one more time. The hi, then send. So you can see the typing is added over here. Then after getting the response, the typing is replaced with the actual or the real-time response from the Gemini. So come over here and come to this. As you see, I have the next line and it is the typing. You can see the typing over here and it is a strong. What is the strong text? It is the bot. The bot is a strong. Then add the typing to it. So come over here. Let's write hi one more time and send. You can see the typing is over here. The typing. Then it's replaced with the actual response of the Gemini. So we have the a strong bot or the bold bot, exactly what we have over here. After that, we need to send the message to the backend or to the controller. Where's the controller? At the first step, we need to add the controller path. It is inside the chatbot. So this is the controller name. You can see the controller name is chatbot, exactly this part. This is the controller name, chatbot. Then inside the controller, I have the function or the method in it. It is the method in the C#, send message. So if I get inside the controller and over here, I have the send message, exactly what we have over here. You can see the send message inside the chatbot controller. Then its method is post. So you can see the post over here, and it means this method will be executed after posting some data to the server. So the main duty of the send message is receive user's message and return bot reply. You can see more description over here for your more information. So at the first step, we need to read the JSON string from the request body. So it is the request that is sent over here. Then get the body and read to the end, the reader, and create the body. And indeed, the main duty of this function and method is to send the question to the Gemini and get back the result and response from the Gemini. We need to change the message format to the JSON. So we're going to use something like this, the JSON document, and parse the body to the JSON. Then we have the user message. It's very simple. The user message is inside the document, get property, the message, and get a string. After that, we need to call the Gemini API by using the send to Gemini. This is the user message. So where is the message and where we can get the message? It's over here inside the root element. If I get inside the index, as you see, I have the fetch, and this part of the code is something like the Ajax in the jQuery. And I don't want to refresh this page, and the only thing I want to refresh is the text over here and also over here. So let's come to this one, and as you see, I have the JSON stringify, and it is the message. You can see the message over here, and it is from the user message, as you see over here, and indeed it is from this text area. So send it to the chatbot, the send message. Now I have the user message because I got the message and assign it to the user message. It's time to create the return type. And it is the JSON, and it has the success inside it. Then I have the answer. Then we have the time span, and this is the time span. And after that, if you got any errors, return this one, return the answer, and it is error. The success is false. The time span is the datetime dot now. So what is inside the send to Gemini? You know what? If you want to learn anything inside this code, I strongly recommend you to add a kind of breakpoint over here. Then a step-by-step check the results and also the different parts one by one. So come over here and come to this one. The next one is send to Gemini. This is the send to Gemini method, and it is over here. As you see, we need to add the API key. This is the API key. As I mentioned in my previous tutorial, you need to get it from the website. And if I take a look over here, after downloading the files, we have the Gemini info. And inside it, I have something like this. This is my own API. Then we have the Gemini model. This is the Gemini model. After that, we have the API URL. So if I take a look over here, as you see, let's auto this one, great. This part is indeed up to the models, is the URL. After that, we have the model name. This is the model name. Then the remaining items and the remaining URL, including the key equals to the API key. What is the API key? The API key is this one. So we need to change this part of the code to the model name. If I take a look, I want to work with the Gemini 2.5 Pro. Let's copy that and paste it over here. The question is, can I work with all the versions of the Gemini model? Yes, you can work with any version that you want, but I strongly recommend you to watch my previous tutorial and select the appropriate model for yourself. So come over here and design and create the new model, and this is the body. Inside it we have the content, inside it we have the parts, then the text equals to the message. Then serialize the body. After that we have the content, then string content is this one. After that, come over here and post it to the server. You can see the client post async. What's the content to the URL? And after that, we have the doc. You can see the doc over here, and it is the response. You can see the response over here, then the content. After that, we have the doc or the document, and we have the different elements inside it, the candidate, the content, the parts, then the text. Indeed, I want to get the first item or first candidate, then the content, then parts, then the text up to the end. Then return the text over here. And if I take a look over here, as you see, after the fetch, we're going to get the response and get the JSON of the response. Then get the data inside it and get the div. Which div? The last div. Indeed, if I take a look over here, I have the hi. We need to get the last div, indeed this one. Then replace it with the actual response, this part. So come over here, as you see, I got the typing element, then remove that. After that, add the string bot. This is the response, and indeed this part, the bot. Then adds the message, and this is the Gemini response, and you can see the data answer. The data is the response that is returned by the Gemini. Then scroll to the height. It means scroll to this one. If I take a look, scroll over here to the end. And if you got any errors, don't hesitate to show this error message to the user. So it's done. It's really simple and straightforward. But I think the code inside the controller is a kind of messy and complex to learn. For your deeper understanding, I want to add the breakpoint over here. You can add it here, or I can come to this part, for instance, the JSON. So send to Gemini. And also you can come over here and you can add the next breakpoint over here. So let's come over here, select the iOS Express, and it is the debug. I want to start with the debugging. Let's be patient. So it's loaded over here. Now let's write hi. This is the hi and send it. As you see, it's over here. Now I have the doc and I have the body. This is the body. As you see, it is the message, the hi. So the body format is the JSON. You can see it's over here. The reader. And after that, if I take a look, this is the body. If I come to the view, it is the message hi. So let's copy this, come to this, and I want to show it because we have the zoom over here, the message, and this is the JSON format, the message, the value hi. Then if I take a look, go to the next one, and this is the user message. Come over here, go to the next line, and inside the send to Gemini, if you want to directly get inside the send Gemini, click on the F11, or if I take a look, the step into, or add the breakpoint inside the send to Gemini, then press the F10. It's not important matter. Or step into, so click on this, Go to the next one, and as you see, I'm getting inside this into Gemini method. So come here, go to the next line, and this is the URL. If I check a look, you can see the URL over here. I have the Gemini 2.5, the Pro version, then adding the key to the queries over here. And after that, create the body, and this is my body. And if I take a look, come over here, come to this, it has the content inside it. Then we have the parts. Then we have the parts itself. The last one is indeed the message. The text equals to the height. So this is the structure of my data. That's how I'm going to send it. So come over here, come to this and serialize the body. This is the JSON. Go to the next line using the F10. Now I have the JSON, and you can see something like this. If I click on the view, you can see something like this. So let's copy that, get inside the web browser, and this is my web browser. Come over here and say online JSON viewer, and this is the online JSON validator, no, the viewer. Let's write the online JSON viewer and press enter. Get inside this website. I have all the options or the websites that I can work with them. This is only my favorite website, so you can use anything that you want. Now let's paste it over here. Get inside the viewer. So in the viewer, I have the content. You can see it over here. Then I have the index, the parts, then the 0, and the text equals to the height. Content, parts. So if I take a look over here, close this one, I have the content, then the parts, then the value. This is the key name, this is the value. So come over here and create the content, and this is the content. Go to the next line, create the HTTP client, and then we need to post the content. This is the content, post it to the URL, this URL. So the result is the response. Go to the next line. And after a couple of seconds, we need to be patient until sending and receiving the response. So let's patient and come to this one. So I have the JS response. Now we have the resume phrase. Okay, so it means everything is done. And also we have the status code. Status code up to 200. 200 means everything is okay. So it's time to get back the data. So come over here, go to the next line. I have the JSON string. So we have something like this. If I take a look, we have all of this. Let's select this, copy, get inside the web browser. And after that, come over here, get inside the text and paste it over here. Now I have all of this. So let's come to this one. And after that, get inside the viewer. So we have the candidate, then inside it we have the 0, index 0, then we have the content. Inside that I have the parts, then the index, then the response. So the text is hello, how can I help you today? This is the response. I send the hi, then this is the response. Hello, how can I help you? So come over here and go to the next one and get the text. What is the text? If I get inside the text, this is the text. Hello, how can I help you? It is inside the candidate, then the content, then the parts, the text. Exactly what we have over here. You can see the candidate, then the content, then the parts, and the text. The result is over here. So we get the text and return the text. And if we haven't anything, return no response. And if the text is null, return no response. Now the code inside the index will be executed and the JSON will be get, and this is the response, get it, then the data, then remove typing, and indeed the last message. This is the last message, as you see. This is the last message, and remove that. After that, add the response and say the strong but strong, the bold but. So we have the data, and inside it we have the answer. Indeed, it is over here. Just uncheck this, go to the next line, and over here we're going to create the data object. So I have the success true, then the answer is reply. So come over here, and this is the reply. And if I take a look, this is the answer, and it is reply exactly what we have over here, or the error object like this. But currently I have the valid response, so I have the answer. And I'm gonna get the answer from the data and assign it to the bot. And then I scroll to the height, and if I continue, I can see the result. So come over here, and you can see, hello, how can I help you? My age or your age, your age. After that, come to descend and come over here, get inside the Visual Studio. Over here, let's uncheck any breakpoints, so it's unchecked. Come to this and let's see the result. I don't have an age in the way human do. Okay, I enjoyed a lot. Now we learned more about the codes, and I strongly recommend you to add the breakpoints everywhere inside your code and start debugging your codes and executing your codes line by line. Then you'll get the philosophy and the logic of the codes for better understanding. The best wishes. Thanks and thanks goodness.